guys.
Hi.
Yo, so.
Since it's Halloween, I thought maybe that we'd tell a
spooky tale.
well, this isn't really spooky. You know, right now everybody's really into the Harry Potter, and in fact, we have Harry Potter sitting right here next to us. And so the story that I'm going to tell you tonight comes from Tales from the Beetle and the Bard. And this is a book that Dumbledore, the old wizard, gave to Ron, one of the three young wizards in the Harry Potter series, in his will. Okay? So I'm going to tell you the first story that he has written in here. It's called The Wizard and the Hopping Pot. Okay? Sorry. Should have had it fixed. And there's not a whole lot to see, but I'll show you what pictures there are. Okay. The Wizard and the Hopping Pot. There was once a kindly old wizard who used his magic generously and wisely and for the benefit of all the people in his village. But he didn't want to reveal the true source of his power, and so he had his cauldron that he used for magic, but he called it his lucky pot. And he would make potions and charms and other things out of there to help the muggles, the non-wizard people in his village. And from miles around, people came to him with their troubles, and the wizard was pleased to give his pot a stir and put things right. So, if you guys had a chance to go to a wizard for just one thing to get rid of, what would you want?
To get rid of?
Yeah.
Just to get rid of?
Yeah,
Not
a
to
potion
gain?
or to deal with. Think of something.
Can I say it?
If you're gonna say,
What did you say?
oh, he's just talking about a friend of his that he doesn't want to know. I thought he was gonna say pimples. That's probably
yeah,
what I do. Is I'd ask for.
Aaron
something
would
that got
probably
rid-
do that because I just found mine first yesterday. So.
What were you gonna say? Oh, yeah. Make everything right with the world. Okay.
To get
So.
rid of that?
This well-beloved wizard lived to a goodly age and then died, and leaving all his, well, it says chattels, but we don't know what chattels are really here.
Or shells.
Chattels means that your house and your horse and your money and everything that you own is a chattel, and he left them all to his only son. But the son was of a very different disposition than his gentle father, and those who could not work magic were, the son thought, worthless, and he often quarreled with his father's habit of taking care of the muggles. Upon the father's death, the son found hidden inside the old cooking pot a small package bearing his name. He opened it, hoping for, what do you think he wanted?
Money, probably.
Yep, money. Yep. He was hoping for...
yeah.
Yeah, he was hoping for gold. Yes, galleons or Harry Potter or wizarding gold. He was hoping for gold, but instead he found a soft, thick slipper that was much, much too small to wear, and it wasn't a pair. There was only one of them. And they probably didn't smell like some of the people around here whose slippers do. A fragment of parchment within the slipper had the words, "In the fond hope, my son, that you will never need it." The son cursed his father's age-softened mind, then threw the slipper back into the cauldron and resolved to use it just as a rubbish pail. That was all he's going to use this precious cauldron for. He's going to throw trash in it. That very night, a peasant woman, peasant meaning that she didn't have a lot of money, knocked on the front door, saying, "My granddaughter is afflicted by a crop of warts, sir." She told him, "Your father used to mix a special poultice in that old cooking pot." "Begone!" cried the son. "What care I for your problems?" And he slammed the door in the woman's face. At once there came a loud clanging and banging from the kitchen, and the wizard lit his wand so that he could see, opened the door, and there, to his amazement, he saw his father's old cooking pot. It had sprouted one single foot and was hopping in the middle of the kitchen floor. The wizard approached it in wonder, but fell back hurriedly when he saw that the whole of the pot's surface was covered with warts. Disgusting object, he cried, and he tried firstly to vanish the pot, waving his wand. Wave your wand. Vanish. That didn't work. And finally, to force it out of the house. But none of his spells worked, and he was unable to stop the pot from hopping after him out of the kitchen and following him up to bed, clanging and banging loudly on every stair. Wizard could not sleep all night for the banging of the warty old pot by his bed, and the next morning the pot insisted on hopping after him back down the stairs to the breakfast table. Clang, clang, clang went the brass-footed pot, and the wizard had not even started his oatmeal when there came another knock on the door. An old man stood on the doorstep. "'Tis my old donkey, sir," he explained. "Lost she is, or stolen, and without her I cannot take my wares to the market, and my family will go hungry tonight." "And I am hungry now," roared the wizard, and he slammed the door on the old man. Clang, clang, clang went the cooking pot's single brass foot upon the floor. But now the clamor was mixed with the brays of a donkey and human groans of hunger. "Oh, I'm hungry," echoing from deep inside the pot. "Be still, be silent," shrieked the wizard, but not all of his magic powers could quieten the warty pot, which hopped at his heels all day, braying and groaning and clanging, no matter what he did, no matter what he said, no matter what spell he tried to cast. That evening there came a third knock on the door, and there stood a young woman, sobbing as though her heart would just break. "My baby is terribly, terribly ill," she said. "Please, won't you help us, please? Your father told me to come if I'm troubled." But the wizard slammed the door on her. And now the tormenting pot filled to the brim with salt water and slopped tears all over the floor as it hopped and brayed and groaned and sprouted more warts. Can you imagine that?
Oh, so like every problem somebody comes to the door with, what happens to
That
the
makes
pot?
sense.
Yeah.
But I don't get the foot.
Oh,
The
foot
guy
slipper.
he had wart on his foot.
The
And
slipper.
so we don't know about the slipper yet. Okay?
Didn't it say something about the beginning?
Well, we don't know what goes on beyond the slipper, just that it's been given to him. Okay? Even though no more villagers came to seek help at the wizard's cottage for the rest of the week, I think he probably scared them away. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably the loud noise coming out of the door and just the slamming of the
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that scared him. For the rest of the week, the pot kept him informed of all their ills. Within a few days, it was not only braying like a donkey. Can anybody bray? I can't bray.
Yeah.
And groaning. I know a few of you can groan. And slopping tears and hopping and sprouting warts. It was also choking and retching, crying like a baby, whining like a dog, spewing out bad cheese and sour milk, and a plague of hungry slugs. Ugh. The wizard could not sleep or eat with the pot beside him, but the pot refused to leave. He could not silence it, nor could he force it to be still. See, in one small picture, you can see the wizard's feet, and the pot. Well, see all the dots on there? Okay, and one foot on the pot, chasing after the wizard in his robe. At last, the wizard could bear it no more. "Bring me all your problems, all your troubles, and all your woes," he screamed, fleeing into the night with the pot hopping behind him along the road into the village to see all the muggles. "Come, let me cure you, mend you, comfort you. I have my father's cooking pot. I shall make you well." And with the foul pot still bounding along behind him, he ran up the street, casting spells in every direction. Zoom, 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 zoom. In Inside one house, the little girl's warts vanished as she slept. The lost donkey was summoned from a distant briar patch that he had been eating and set down softly in its stable. The sick baby was doused in dittany. Must be some type of medicine I never heard of.
Okay.
And he woke well and rosy.
Probably a potion thing from Harry Potter.
Yeah, could be. At every house of sickness and sorrow, the wizard did his best. And gradually the cooking pot beside him stopped groaning and retching and became quiet and shiny and clean. Well, pot, asked the trembling wizard as the sun began to rise. The pot burped out the single slipper that he had thrown into it. Can you imagine that? After all the stuff that had been in there, I don't think I'd want to see that slipper. I have seen it when our puppy Suri over here has belted out a sock that she accidentally ate. It is not fun.
Especially if it's one of my socks. That wouldn't be fun for her.
Anyway, the pot burped out the single slipper he had thrown into it and permitted him to fit it onto the brass foot. Apparently the brass foot didn't go away, just the warts. Together they set off back to the wizard's house, and the pot's footsteps were muffled at last by the slipper. But from that day forward, the wizard helped the villagers and muggles, just like his father before him, because he didn't want the pot to cast off the slipper and begin to hop once more. The end.
All the wrongs have turned to rights.
All the wrongs have turned to right. Okay.